Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. And in this series we're going to be talking about our signs in astrology and what all these different signs mean. And in this episode we're going to be talking about the rising sign. Okay, so the rising sign is actually the most surface level sign in terms of your identity, and that is why the rising sign gets the title as the identity, because this is the most surface level form of your personality. And the reason is because the rising sign rules your physical body, okay? The way you move, what you initially identify with. So it's going to look like you. You're going to look like your rising sign. You're going to move like your rising sign. It's really going to deal with your physical body and your outer persona. Okay, this is the first thing people see, or the first vibes and energy people get when they see you. So a lot of times when people are actually guessing your sign, they most likely are guessing your rising sign, because it's actually more further out than the sun sign. Okay, we'll learn about the sun sign in another video. But yes, so the rising sign is actually the first house. Okay, and in astrology we have 12 houses, and your first house is going to represent the ascendant. Okay, the ascendant, this is when the sun was rising. That's why it's called the rising sign. You know, it extends. And this is whatever sign the sun was while it was rising, that's going to represent your rising sign. Okay, and it makes sense that the rising sign also represents your physical body and your surface energy, because this is when the sun is rising. This is when it's coming into one. So this represents your existence, okay? Your first primary energy, what people first see. All right, so yes, your rising sign is your physical body. So lots of physical attributes can connect to your rising sign. So for an example, if you are a Cancer rising, okay, there is a good chance, and this is not all, it depends, that astrology charts are so complex. There's so many aspects and degrees, so things can really switch and change. But generally, if you're rising as in Cancer, there's a good chance that you can gain weight easily. Why? Because it's a water sign, and water signs hold on to energy. So when you have this watery energy on your surface, okay, this is like your surface, you have an energy of absorption. So you absorb energy, and that also includes weight. You know, whatever you eat, you absorb. So water signs absorb, and the vice versa would be for fire signs. So say if you rising with was in Sagittarius, okay, there's a great chance that you burn easily, because like I said, the rising sign deals with your physical body, your genetics. So if it's in Sag, this fiery energy, you burn easily. Okay, this is a person who has a fast metabolism, you know, and these are just little examples, okay? Also, whatever sign, it's going to reflect in your physical persona. So, you know, you could be a very optimistic, fun-loving person, or exciting person if you're rising in Sagittarius. So people can get that energy off of you, off that. Even if you are, say if your sun's in Capricorn, you act very strict, but if your rising is in Sag, you know, people would have to get to know you a little bit more to get past that Sag persona of yours, and then they'll see your actions, they'll realize, oh, you're a little bit more conservative than you come across, you know. So that is the rising sign. It deals with your physical body, your surface persona, and what you identify with. Okay, this is very strong. This is a very strong personality. This is like if you were to play a video game and you choose a character based on their look. That's like their rising sign. It's their look, it's their character, it's what they identify with. It's like if someone says, I want to see your ID, your rising sign would be your license. You know, what do you look like? What's your physical? How do we pinpoint you out? What is your icon? You know, those types of things, you know, everything dealing with the surface. And another part is energy. Okay, so like I said, the rising sign deals with how you come into existence. Okay, this is the sun rising, so it deals with your energy. okay? Because your physical body is energy. We can't become a human, we can't become something in this world physically without energy. So the rising sign deals with your energy. So this is going to be like, your rising sign can explain how you walk, how you move, your mannerisms in your energy and how you move. So say if your rising was in Capricorn, you can have a very conservative, restrictive walk, a walk where you're very, tight and self-aware, because Saturn's all about discipline and restrictions and getting things right, and by being, strategic and planning things, if your rising, let's say, was in Libra, you can have a very chill, nice, soft way of moving, because Libra is all about beauty and relaxation, and it's like a lazy sign, so you could just be very, soft and gentle in your movements, okay, because that is your rising energy. That's the energy, and that all calculates into how people see your surface persona, so it's like, say another example, your rising's in Sag is all about, exaggeration. So, maybe you have a huge forehead, or maybe you're really tall. I mean, those things count for it as well too. So all of these deal with your physical attributes, and this is why it really deals with your surface persona, because this is the first energy people are getting. And it's important to know that the rising sign comes before the sun sign. The sun sign does not come before the rising sign. The rising sign comes first. Okay, because the rising sign is the direct energy. It's the energy that brings us into existence. So it's what we see, it's what we're working with. The sun comes later, and that deals with more of our actions and our creative energy. But the rising sign is that direct energy. It's the first. So be aware of that, because a lot of times, like I said, when you're trying to guess someone's sign, in my opinion, a lot of times you're guessing their rising sign if you don't know them. If you don't know them, you're really guessing the rising sign, okay? Because that's, again, the first thing that you will come in contact with, whether it be with their physical body or how they're acting. That's the first thing you're going to see. So don't sleep on your rising sign. It's a very big deal, and that's your rising, Other words for rising sign is ascendant, and you can also say first house. Okay, ascendant, because that is the point in the chart where the sun was rising. It's the first start. So that point is called the ascendant. And the ascendant is always located in the first house, because it's the beginning, the first house. So what you look at your signs in your first house, and that's your rising sign. So those are other words you can call your rising sign. You can call it the ascendant, and you can also call it, your first house. But yes, that is your rising sign. Don't sleep on it. And if you guys like this video, don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you like the music that you heard in the beginning of this video, check out my music on Spotify and Apple. And also check out my music video. And if you really like astrology, book a reading with me in my email. I do $60 readings. So you can book with me right then and there. And I'll catch you guys next time.